Hello everybody, this is Maniac4Bricks, and I'm here today with the LEGO Dimensions Krusty Fun Pack. This is set number 71227. It is ages 7 to 14, has 38 pieces, includes one Krusty the Clown minifig, and a clown bike. This is available in 2015 in Wave 2 of the LEGO Dimensions packs. This retails for $15 in the United States. On the back, we get to see some of the alternate models that can be built in-game with instructions with the game for the clown bike. The instructions even for the clown bike are also in the game. They may be available at this time on LegoDimensions.com. You'll have to check more for those details there. One thing I found very interesting when I opened this up was everything's in one bag. And at this point, I've collected a bunch of these, and most of them had two bags where it'd have larger pieces in one. Most of the minifigure pieces would be in there, and then a smaller bag with a lot of smaller pieces. Since there's only 38 pieces in the set, it all got grouped together in the one bag. So we do have some pretty unique pieces in there, such as the printed Krusty the Clown character base. We have Krusty himself in there. We'll take a more look at all those different pieces in just a moment. And then we have our instruction book right here. We got Krusty on the front. And then you build him inside, put him on the base, and by activating him in the game, it will give you the building instructions for the basic clown bike. Along the back, we get to see some of the other models and packs that are available for LEGO Dimensions as of recording this video. So, let's get this opened up and build it as best as we can. So now we have everything built. The clown bike was actually pretty easy to build just by looking at it from the box. I haven't even registered it in the game as of recording this footage. So it's actually a pretty simple assembly and looks pretty good. I'll test it with Krusty in just a moment. And it does actually have rolling wheels, which look pretty nice. I actually do like those slim tires that they put around the wheels too. Now with Krusty, he looks pretty much the same as we've seen from Series 1 of the collectible minifigures Simpsons line, and he does have what looks like the same colored pie even. So there's nothing really exclusive about this version of Krusty. It's just another opportunity to get the same guy, in case you haven't gotten him before. I do know that he has a special feature in the game, whether it's that he can walk through toxic waste or he can clean up toxic waste. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun in-game. We'll talk more about that gameplay footage a little later on. Like with all the LEGO Dimensions packs released thus far, you can play with each of these just by the character piece like this. It'll still register Krusty the Clown in the game because it's specially made for him. And you could use the minifigure on its own because you have to put it together and, you could rebuild it into other things. This is blank, so you can easily use this for any gadgets or vehicles that you have unlocked in LEGO Dimensions, and using the one right here would obviously give you the clown bike. So it actually rolls pretty easily, keeps a good balance for being on two wheels. As I know in the past there can be, it can be hit or miss as far as how well these can balance on two wheels for bikes. Let's see if we can try putting Krusty on top of there. There we go. It looks pretty good, especially with the pie in his hand. I was actually worried because this little green stud that's shown on there, I thought that might interfere with him actually, getting a good grip or laying on top of it, but it seems to work pretty well. And I do like that pose on him. It does look very funny. And then we'll get to each of the other models you could upgrade this to in just a moment. I will have to figure out what these are because I don't think the instructions are available as of recording this video. They're available on the LEGO website, but they don't look too hard considering there's very few pieces in the set. I'm sure I can figure out relatively easily. So next up we have the cannon bike. This one actually wasn't a lot harder to build than the clown bike. I mean, there are only a couple pieces here and there that you really have to arrange, mostly on the sides and on the back. So it's relatively easy to put together compared to the last one, especially if you have that one built. The rest of this is relatively easy. It still has enough room for Krusty the Clown to fit on here with the pie and have some cannon action. So I'm sure this is some kind of projectile in the game. I will go more into that a little bit later on. But not a bad model. Looks pretty good. Balances pretty well. still rolls, same as before. And I kind of like the idea of using these as cannons. I do like how they include 2 of these pieces for actually both of these elements in this set. They're very nice pieces to have. And last but not least, we have the anti-gravity rocket bike. This one is a little bit more involved in terms of what you take apart to rebuild it, but I still like the way that it came out. You basically have that little yellow piece on the bottom gets upgraded a bit before it hits the gray brackets, so you can fit these on the front. It's actually a pretty nice idea, and I'm sure in the game this allows this bike to maybe float in the air, perhaps? Again, these are all estimates. I have not played the game yet to really say much for their abilities. Krusty still fits in here very well, and I would only say that as far as rolling it for an actual toy, it might be a little bit more troublesome because the rockets are in the way. So I would just suggest moving them up a little bit so it has a bit of that effect, but you can still roll it around, same as before. It might keep it a little bit off balance though. You can see right there. So maybe a little further up, there won't be a problem. Okay, well, it does lean a little bit, but still a pretty nice build. I kind of like the way that they use these in all 3 different ways, At first as exhausts, then as cannons, and then as, still kind of exhaust, but not really, it's more like propulsion. So overall, I'm really impressed with this one, mainly because it has so few pieces that are used very well to make some unique models. It's kind of something I didn't think would work so well, especially without instructions, but it actually covered it pretty easily. And I gotta give it some props for that. Now, just like any of the other LEGO Dimensions packs and figures and vehicles, you do not have to have any of these things on the bases in order to play them in the game. All you need is that blue disc on the bottom for any of these to play with, and then you could either use the toys in your own collection or play with them on your own. For the vehicles, you do not have to have the exact build of what it is on top for it to be used in the game. For example, if I had this as the clown bike, and in the game, I could still have it as the anti-gravity rocket bike. But that's just something that really helps you identify what this is underneath the disc. So that way you don't have these confused, because they're all rewritable. You could have this, changed to any other vehicle or gadget that you find in LEGO Dimensions and use it. So if you have this on top, but in the game it looks like the Mystery Machine, that could be very confusing. So it's not too bad. I really like how minimal they use the parts here, but still have it look very unique. I actually did want to point out, I didn't think about this until now, but the green bits kind of remind me of how Krusty's hair looks, because that is on the sides and on the top. So that's kind of interesting. I'm not that big of a Simpsons fan to say if any of those 3 models were in any episodes, but that's where you guys come in. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen this referenced in the Simpsons TV show or any specials that they had, and also let me know what you think about this in general. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time with more LEGO videos. And you can also check out some LEGO Dimensions gameplay. There was some live streams that I had for it previously, so that you can check those out. I will hopefully work on some more gameplay in which I can, show what these things do in the game.